Hello Marvel Heroes fans, my name is Wilfred and welcome to my channel. If you like this sort of guide, do check out at the description of the video, more guides for you to watch. Today let's talk about Beast in this mini-series of heroes design review and build ideas. The purpose of this video is really to give you some idea of how you can build Beast and give you some kind of confidence in modifying some of these ideas I have so that you could build a Beast that the way that you like him to be. So to play Beast, there are actually multiple build ideas. So one of them, of course, is the momentum kind of movement build. I've tried that. I don't exactly like it a lot because I think I'm more into the kind of like a drone kind of gameplay. But I understand if you like the kind of like momentum kind of like gameplay, then Beast could be one option for you. But he's also a scientist, and I personally like all the gadgets and so on. So this build is very much like a bit of drones, a little bit of teamwork as well, because Beast has his own friends. So now, why would you want to pick this build? Is that this build is rather good in almost all scenarios. You've seen it in the Dimension Collide Cosmic version, the video I just posted yesterday. So do check that one out if you'd like to see how he perform in a harder kind of scenario. Today I'll bring him to the Cosmic Curse just to showcase to you how some of this button works and so on. So now, this build is nice because it does have a very, it has sufficient invulnerable kind of like ability, so that he can take some hits off from all the enemy attack if need to. There are drones that does quite a nice area damage, as well as to continuously attack the boss or whoever around the drone, while Beast is kind of like leaping around, because he's rather fragile unless you gear him to be rather tanky. So it is important to have something still trying to deal DPS while you're moving around as well. And he also have ability that can group all the enemies together and then do damage upon it. As a melee, that is very useful skill. So I have that as well. And last but not the least, the rotation is not as bland as some other heroes, whereby just click the cooldown as and when the cooldown button light up and so on and so forth. You actually have to time it, you have to observe when does the drone arrive and when should you kind of like enhance your drones and so on. So it's kind of interesting to sort of like have some timing, stuff like that. And like I said before, to play Beast, you probably would need to pay attention to his damage mitigation, because if you are not gearing him for the kind of like a damage reduction, you probably run about 40%, which you can't really do a lot of like cosmic harder content with that kind of like a damage reduction. So I would strongly suggest you to pay more attention to his damage reduction overall. He is I'll show you the numbers later, but he's a defense defense dodge hero. So, and he has 0 deflect, so that of course, if you do deflect onto him, then that will actually have a lot of payoff. So I'll talk a little bit about that later as well. All right, so I will talk about the power, trait, and talent. I will skip the numbers because Gazillion is still tuning the game patch after patch. You never know what happened. Even the Infinity system is going for a brand new version 1.1b. So I will skip all those things, but just focus on the design philosophy to share with you. All right. So onto his trait, like I mentioned before, he is a defense dodge hero with 0 deflects, and he has an 8% damage reduction being built in as a melee combatant, but still it's rather low. By default, it's about 40% or less, depending on your gear and so on. He's a fighting intelligence hero. Not going to talk too much about that archetype anymore because they are changing the whole entire Infinity system to something else. So, but he's a crit hit chance kind of trait, so that's nice. Another thing is the momentum. So right now it's more like a juggernaut kind of thing. Right now it's 0, but as you move around and so you can gain momentum and so on. And the momentum will kind of buff certain power, not everything, but buff certain power. So it's something for you to observe. Now, why do I like this build? This build is very much like a brains build. I do drones. So there are 3 options when it comes to drones. You can either do a gas, you can do a Tesla, and you can do a adhesive drone. The differences between them are more for utility wise. If you're looking at the, say, adhesive drone, you are applying vulnerability, which is something that you need it for almost all heroes anyway. So this is almost like a must, and once you hit by an electro catalyst, which is another power that you have here, then you further enhance it to give you a damage over time layer there for 8 seconds. So it's rather nice. You can when you come down, you can just kind of enhance it through the catalyst. So that's one that you should pick up. Tessa is highly recommended. Now I haven't really looked into a number again, because it's very hard to talk about number today. They change it every week and so on. But I think from a design perspective, it kind of makes sense. I observe it how it works, especially when I hit it by the electro catalyst. It does hit the boss quite a fair bit, so long as it is in range. It's rather nice. As beasts move around, damage layers still continue. So these two become like a very nice damage layer on top of whatever you do. Catalyst, of course, itself is also one of the layer, but it's a rather weak layer. 4 seconds is 24,000 is rather weak, but it is still a layer. So there's 3 power that I recommend. And then there are, if you are into momentum, you have things like grappling hook, slam, and also you have the grappling hook swing kind of stuff like that. These are more for the momentum kind of power. Another one is implosion. This is augmented by talent, by the way. You could actually bring a team kind of like a power there, teamwork synergy here, and to implode is just pull all the enemies together. It works really nice because you would like to pull the enemy into the drone range, because all the drones has a range to it, like Tesla drone has a range to it. If you go beyond certain range, it will not work. So it's nice to pull things closer to you, and also for your melee to happen. So these are some of the recommendation there. Now, why do I not take the gas one? Well, first of all, I can't really do drones all the time. It become a bit clunky to observe all these things. I need other utility like pulling mobs together, like invulnerable, like signature kind of thing. So I can't really do too many drones. And also anything with weaken usually is the DPS is not that fantastic as well. So, but I mean, there's something to think about. I mean, just look at a number here, 4169 versus the 4873. By looking at that, you probably understand that one of them is it's just not as good. So this is one layer that I dropped. Onto the brain side, I used the Bestial Swipe as the main spender. I don't think you can use any other main spender. I think this is the one, because well, I mean, if you have momentum, you get higher. If not, then you're hitting kind of lower. But I think if you take a look at the Dimension Collide video, a lot of time he's moving around, so he does have have momentum. So you can benefit from the 25% kind of like attack speed for 4 seconds. So kind of it's nice. So this is one, and the rest of it, have I tried? Yes, I've tried. Like so hang on, this is a dash. I've tried things like the Pharaoh Flare. I've tried it. I think Bestial Beatdown is one that if you are going for rate kind of environment that you don't need to move around too much, I think it's rather nice. But then sometimes when you hit, I always a bit concerned about whether my 6 hit really lands everything there, or when the mobs move away. Not every mob is like a raid boss that stand there let you hit all the time. So it's a little bit hard to control some of these things. But I understand that if you are playing the movement kind of like a melee build, this would be your bread and butter. Then you have other things like the somersault that apply bleed. So again, he can be a bleed hero if so you wish to, and or the lounge as well. And Blue Beatdown is one that I've augmented with the talents to make it a teamwork power. It's nice. I mean, I've seen the blue purples around, and I like it kind of quite a fair bit. So this is the one, the blue. So you see the Kirk there. And by the way, the drones, I would like to just showcase to you, so you can call the drone in. But it does take a while to come down, so you can do a catalyst to make it like, so you have range there to enhance it. But that's what I mean. Sometimes you can't just like keep clicking a button as and when this one come off cooldown. You have to observe when things are. Implosion, you can't really see it here. It's just like that. Gene come down. I love all this animation there. And signature, as you know, is just the one that like running around, and with Jubilee to get a light. I mean, it's beautiful effect. I just love the whole effect to it. And I think I've already touched onto the talent side, but just to very much sum up what my this one build is, I use a lot of brain power, so I would like to use the brain power to reduce the cooldown. And it's kind of worked quite nicely with all these things that are being cooldown reduced in a sense. But the rest of it, you could gain more kind of charges to it, or you can change that into friends in high places. It's fine too. in fact, I mean, if you do a lot of teamwork kind of like a synergy, this could be one of the options as well, but I prefer to reduce the cooldown for my brain powers and when I use my brain power. That's just my preference, because a lot of things are basically on cooldown. I use quite a lot of brain power here. So this is brain power, this is brain, this is brain, this is brain, and yep, this is brawn, right? So I've got at least 4 power that's on brain. So I'm quite happy to reduce the cooldown on those things, make it more like engaging. But the rest of it is really about the blue beatdown I talk about, the psychic implosion I talk about. When I use brain power, my ally and myself gain bonus health and health regenerated. I think it's important for this one here. Whether I want a momentum or not, I'm not really a momentum build, because the only thing that use momentum really is the main spender. So I don't need to like worry about whether I have momentum for this kind of power or not. So I don't need that. And also, you could actually have the barrier gadget to automatically activate. But again, I mean, that's fine. I can pop make it I want, so long as I have extra health here and there. I think I'm fine. I think between these two, you can experiment which one work better for you. This one work better for me. Right. The last tier is really about I love the Jubilee and Night Soul and stuff like that. So that is all really. Before I head over to anywhere, I would like to just highlight to you that if you do not use the flat, say for example, if I don't use this catalyst, so what happened is that you observe that the flat rating is 0. So this game, the deflat, dodge, and defense have a diminishing return. So if you see anything that is 0, it's rather nice to put in some deflect to it, because whatever you put in there, the rating there will be like, you earn quite a fair bit of it. So you automatically have 13.6 chances to reduce the damage by half. I mean, although the contribution to the damage reduction is only 3%, but effectively, because you have another 13.6 chance to half the damage coming in, and your dodge is about 8%. So 8% you can avoid everything. Another 13.6% you can actually take half. So it's really, really nice. Imagine without this you lose 13.6. I could actually go extreme, and the third stat, instead of health, I roll deflect as well. But then it's up to you. After a while I get the diminishing return. I'm not really that into. Anyway, I roll a 99% on the health, so I would like to keep it that way. In terms of gear wise, I'm still using very much pre 2.0 gear in many sense, except the catalyst, of course. I'm using a great kind of 70 gun near, so whatever you see, take that into consideration as well. Not really a relevant kind of like a relix, but I got one. I feel that Beast should move really fast, so that is the reason why I put a relix on him. Alright, next bit is the Cosmic Curse. Okay, this is Cosmic Curse with Beast in this drone teamwork synergy kind of build. And do pay attention to the two kind of like a drone that I deploy, and you'll probably see that I do not kind of like hit it with a catalyst. Sometimes it's a mistake, but I wait until they arrive first, or I'll do other things while I'm doing it. So what I usually do is just coin the drones here, kind of thing. Like I can do whatever it is, then I can. You see, this is not about. It's already a bit like different kind of area of it. So you can see, because of the brain power reduction, momentarily you see two drones together in some sense. So you can coin the drone there and do the beat down and then ignite them. All right, so that's very nice. Implode them as well. So just be careful though. I mean, Beast can be rather like a fragile in some sense. So implosion and ignite and coin the drone as well. So it's rather nice. I mean, it's rather fluid the way that you play Beast. It depends very much on the situation itself, and you have the caller there. Sometimes you have to get rid of those people there. So make sure the drones is in, then you can deal damage to some of these things here. Then you can do an implosion and do a beat down as well. So it's rather interesting here. Coin the drone ahead of time, and then when they come down, do the catalyst, electro catalyst, and that's fine, right? So it's rather. I mean, it's rather, although this is not a movement build, but there's quite a lot of like movement going on here. Things that you have to react to it. When do you do a beat down? When you are undergoing facing a lot of enemy up front. When do you do a signature? When things are really like, So now here I do an implosion first, and I do a catalyst and do a beat down kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, there are things that you could start to sum up here, and wait until it come down, then you catalyst, right? So just remember, just don't anyhow mash cooldown like like you want to. You have to see whether the thing come down or not, kind of thing. So it's a bit of observing what's on the screen. I like it a lot, rather than just like a lot of time when you play this game, you just smash a cooldown for your hero. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's nice, but sometimes you like to have some variation in life. All right, so that is and observe the momentum though. I mean, kind of thing. Then you can do a beat down as well. So it's a little bit of I like games like I like heroes whereby see there are a few drones here. I like heroes whereby I need to observe the surrounding a bit and to position stuff quite nicely. Like Rocket Raccoon, was one of those favorite hero of mine because the turret, you actually have to think where to position them. It's very much like the drones as well. I mean, when do you use them, when do you position them and stuff like that, right? So now it's getting a bit dicey, my fault. So yeah, so that's it. Okay, so there are some kind of like and to observe the Tesla drone as well. It does hit rather nicely. So I'm just heading over there. So I do one power first, one layer first, and after that I can do something else. All right, so it's important, all these drones and stuff like that. Then I can do another layer first before I go and catalyst onto the drones, and so on and so forth. I can call another one. All right, so oops, my mistake. Yep. So that is you see, the thing is that, like 1, 2, then you can explode them. You see. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice, not just like anyhow hit buttons, mash button. You have to think a little bit on when to explode the drone, when to apply the catalyst, and so on. All right, these are just like. So I'm going to face Curse. I'm going to use the ultimate. I hope that's okay with you, just to showcase to you how his ultimate look like. All right, so this is ultimate. And it's like a danger room kind of thing, and he will scan the area. Then after that, I think by then my signature should be up. Drone 1, drone 2. Then after that, beat down. Then catalyst. Then do implosion. Okay, chill, and do the implosion there. I think by then should be quite okay, yeah. Okay, so done. Do I have the cosmic curse, gem of the curse? No, of course not. It's a lie. That item don't exist. All right, so not even the normal one. Okay, so that is all really. I hope kind of very enjoyable, right? If you gear him right. I mean, his DPS is all right. It's not really geared for DPS because I could have done better with the catalyst. I actually have a catalyst that give crit damage rating, and it's kind of nice. But then I also like to be a little bit more durable against some of the harder content and so on. So, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and do leave me a note below if you'd like to ask more questions about Beast, or if you'd like to share more experience with regard to Beast. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.